We're on the record in cause number 322728. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Tyreek O. Green. Mr. Green, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Green, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Green, you may put your hand down. And that your full name is Tyreek O. Green? Tyreek O'Shawn Green? How are you doing, Mr. Green? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Green, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about December 31st, 2018, while you're in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class B misdemeanor offense of interfering with public duties. Mr. Green, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
And to discharge, Mr. Green, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you're guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Green, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Judge, I'm
Okay,
marked it as a
I
Class
see
A,
that
and
Class A. I'm gonna go ahead on and change it to Class B. Okay. Now, Mr. Green, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Green, are these your initials on the line that says guilty?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, Mr. Green, is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, which is a trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case. You have no right of appeal. The next box states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature on the line that says defendant? Mr. Green, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Gilthorpe, you've advised and counseled Mr. Green. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Green, your attorney, Mr. Gilthorpe, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Green, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
It's for 12 months deferred probation, a $500 fine, and 80 hours community service.
Mr. Green, the state is offering that you serve 12 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 12-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $337, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $837. You'll also be required to pay $60 each month probation fee, $15 each month a year analysis fee. You'll also be required to reimburse the county court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Now, your total monthly installments for this case will be $175. Mr. Green, would you be able to pay the $175 per month?
Yes, sir.
You will? Okay, Mr. Green, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, and you will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation. Now, Mr. Green, do you understand the state's offer? Now, do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? Do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Green, if you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not appear in your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney, Mr. Gilthorpe, about the non-disclosure. He's quite competent in those matters. Stand on the X before the court clerk, and once you finish here, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
for a misdemeanor or felony in this state or any other, and that you have no pending charges that you're aware of.
Yes.
Okay. You're just gonna report to this office as soon as you leave here.